Ladies and gentlemen, our fellow farmers, once again we welcome you. I'm Samuel Mwonge, the YPA vet. Today we are in a pasture garden. We have just started the rainy season this side. We have just received the rains, and now we are right now where I'm standing. This is called Alfalfa. Personally, I call it the wonder pasture. I do call it the wonder pasture because of the wonders that it does. You see, we are just coming out of the dry spell and we are coming into the wet season. Into this wet season, you just see this alfalfa was harvested 3 weeks ago, but now it has started bringing out flowers. And remember, we told you that we only harvest this alfalfa when you see these flowers coming out, because when the flowers start to appear, it means that the nutritive contents of this alfalfa are at their maximum point. So it's where we harvest. When the flowers drop off, that means the contents have been lost. This is one of the pastures, and it's the pasture that is highly nutritious in proteins. It has a lot of protein content in it. So I advise farmers to feed these pastures on different species of animals. I told you personally I call this pasture a wonder pasture because, first of all, it is resistant to drought conditions. You see, we are from the dry spell, but you see the vigor it has. You see, it looks healthy. This is the type of pasture that I'm talking about. Another wonder that it does, this pasture, when you feed it to your animals, you find out that the animals, since it has proteins in it, and proteins are body building foods, you'll find that the animal will start having the muscles of the animals will start to grow bigger and bigger. So these pastures will help your animal to grow big in a shortest period of time. That's why we call it the wonder pasture. That's why we call it alfalfa. The way we plant this alfalfa, it's not all that difficult to plant, and it's very easy to plant and very easy to manage. We plant it in rows as you see it. Then we don't allow these other, these are called pastures and these are called weeds. We don't allow this pasture to have weeds, so we keep on weeding this pasture to make sure that it looks nice and healthy as you see it. We plant it in rows. Before we plant, we have to cultivate the land and it looks so smooth to have that good tilth, because the seeds of alfalfa are too small and too tiny. So when we are planting, we have to make sure that the land is smooth, totally smooth. Now when we are planting, we get ropes and we demarcate rows. We make rows. These rows they are 2 feet. They are 2 feet. Then we make a row. After 2 feet, we make a row. Some people make 1.5 feet. Then they make another row. When we are planting, since the seeds are too small, we don't advise our farmers to use bare fingers when planting. What we always do, we get something like a bottle, these empty bottles of water, then we make small holes on each top, then we just use the bottle, we put the seeds in the bottle, and then we sprout them in the rows. That's when you can use minimum seeds, because we are looking at how you can save. 4 kilograms of alfalfa can plant an acre, but when you use your bare hands, you'll find that you can even use 12 kilograms to plant an acre. So after it starts growing, you make sure that the weeds are always removed. Since these pastures are grown for animals and are grown, like for us, we grow them for goats. When we get the manure from the goats, we bring and put in this garden. We fertilize this garden such that we get a nice looking pasture like this one. Then alfalfa will only take 3 months from the time of planting to harvest. To the harvesting time, it will take only 3 months. Then you harvest. Then after harvesting for the first time, this pasture has that ability of regrowing. So you find that after 3 weeks, every after 1 month, you have to again harvest this alfalfa, and you take it, you give it to the animals. So it will give you, you make sure this alfalfa will enable you to have pastures throughout the seasons of the year, because when we harvest it, we keep it as hay, we store it as hay. When we are making hay, we just put the grass under sunshine, not to dry but to wilt, because whenever you dry this with this alfalfa, the nutrients are lost, but you just wilt it to make sure that when you compact it, it does not form molds. So after wilting, we get the bales that we have formed through this alfalfa, then we keep them in the pasture store, such that during the times, the drought, we still have pastures to give our animals. That's all I can talk about alfalfa. All I can tell you, any farmer, any starting farmer, any farmer who is in production, you should not miss this pasture at your farm. You should not miss giving your animals this pasture. Stay safe.